Hello and welcome to this lecture on datasets and data loaders. Let's start with the question why it's a good idea to create these specific classes. The idea behind is that ideally your model training should be separated from your data processing, because then you can change something at the end of data processing and your modeling part can stay exactly the same as before. So in the end, your code is having some increased readability and you have a very high modularity. So it's just better code and it's making your life easier later on. And for this, there are two specific classes implemented in PyTorch, and I will show you how to use them, which are Dataset and Dataloader. The dataset is an interface to some preloaded datasets that you can use, but mainly we are going to use it as an interface to our custom datasets. So here the dataset is storing the samples and the labels, and then the data loader is taking over. This is some iterable wrapped around dataset, and that is basically loading then the data. Let's take a look at how you can work with custom datasets. You can just implement your own class. You can see it here at the right hand side. First of all, you have to load the classes, dataset and data loader. Then you can set up your own dataset class, which is inheriting from dataset. And it's important that your dataset class has the implementations for 3 different functions, which there are. The first one is the init function. This is the function that is run once during the instantiation process of creating an object. Then you have a len function, which is just returning the number of samples that are available. And then you have to have some implementation of the getItem function. This one is loading samples from the dataset and pre-processes them in the way that you have defined and returns them for a given index. So here at the right hand side you can see our own implementation as we will develop it together in our coding session. So here we are passing in our independent and dependent dataset x and y. We are creating the internal objects x and y, and then the len function is just returning the length of your dataset, and the getItem function is provided with an index, and then it's returning the independent and dependent feature at position of the index. Alright, that's it on the dataset. Then the next part is the data loader. The data loader basically iterates through the dataset and it's returning batches of your data. We have spoken about batches before. So depending on the batch size which was defined, now the data loader is returning a number of different datasets. And it has a lot of different features which are coming in very handy. Like for example, you can just set a flag so that all the data are shuffled and they're not taken from top to bottom, but randomly sampled from the dataset. And there are also some more advanced sampling strategies. So there's a lot to discover with this class as well. But that's it for our introduction into dataset and data loader. And now in our upcoming coding session, we are going to see how we can actually implement that. Thank you very much for joining and see you there.